Hello everyone, this is Elizabeth at the Giles County Public Library. I'm coming today to tell you a little bit about document editing, creating a document, having a document to print, or just for any purposes that you might need to have a document. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard of Microsoft Word, and you've probably heard of a few other different things, OpenOffice. There are lots of different things that you can choose to use. Word, of course, requires a paid subscription. It is a yearly subscription now, I do believe. You used to be able to purchase it outright, but now I think that you have to buy it as part of the Office 365 subscription model. But that does not mean that you cannot make a beautiful, professional looking document even if you do not have a subscription to that, because there are plenty of free options, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the options you probably already have access to if you have a Gmail account, because Google has its own proprietary document editor, and it's called Google Docs. And today I'm going to show you a little bit about how to use Google Docs. I have opened Google Docs here in a separate window. I've already signed into my Gmail account. Of course, you will need a Gmail account in order to do the things we're going to do in today's tutorial in order to use Google Docs, but it's completely free and you won't have any trouble signing up for a Gmail account. If you need help signing up for a Gmail account, just let us at the library know and we will be more than happy to help you. Okay, here is the Google Docs splash opening page. As you can see, we've got several different options here. Down here we have the recent documents pane that shows where I've been working on a few documents. Today I'm going to have an example document for you and I will show you how to make it. I'm going to probably splice in an image here of the document that we're going to make. It is going to be a recipe. Of course, you don't have to make a recipe. You can use it to make anything that you'd like. You can use it to make a flyer, a story, a paper for school, a resume for job applications, anything that you like. But today I'm going to show you how to make this recipe because it is very easy to insert pictures and format the text. So I thought it would be a good way to show you some of the basic functions that Google Docs has. Alright, but first I'm going to open a new blank file. As you can see in the Start a New Document ribbon up here at the top of the Google Docs page, we have several different options. We have a blank document, a resume, another resume, here's a letter template, here's a project proposal template, and here's a brochure template. We're going to start with the blank document. Alright, and here you see we have opened up the basic blank document here. If you are familiar at all with other word processing programs, you know that this is very similar in layout. We have the basic toolbar up here. We have where it says Untitled Document. Of course, you can rename it. So right now I'm going to rename it to Test Document. We have our basic toolbar up here where it says File, Edit, View, Insert, Format, Tools, Add-ons, and Help. Of course, you can go through those at your own leisure, but the File drop down is, of course, where you save, email, and you make your copies of what you're going to be working on. Edit has your basic undo, redo, paste, those kind of functions. View has different views that you can use. You can view the print layout, or you can go into editing mode, or just plain viewing mode, where you could just look at something without all the bells and whistles of editing. There's also a full screen at the bottom. Insert is where you insert your images, your tables, shapes and drawings, that kind of thing. You can put a link if you need to put a hyperlink or something in there. You can also do headers and footers. Format is where you will change the aspects of your text. That can be layout, fonts, paragraph styles, any kind of indentions or line spacing you need to do. We will talk a little bit about that later, and I'll show you just some basic things of how you can format your text. Tools is where you have basic things like citations, word count, and your spelling and grammar checks. There's also some translations and voice typing aspects, and you also can do some editing if you're doing scripting and coding, which will not apply for us today. Add-ons is just where you can add some special extensions and things to Google Docs. And help is where you can ask some questions and view support material. All right, let's go down here to the document, and we see that we have a basic setup here. Our margins are already set. As you can see, the margins are right here. Should you choose to change the margins, you can just drag these little arrows wider or shorter, and you can create a larger margin or a smaller margin. Our text is already set to normal text. As you see, there are many different styles if you want certain headings or subtitles. We also have the default font. Default, that is a very interesting word that I just created. We have the default font here. It's set as Arial. You can set it to anything that you'd like. We'll do that in a little bit. You also have the size. I like to set the size to font size 12 just because that is the generally accepted font size in any kind of academic work. You can choose smaller or larger, though I wouldn't really recommend going too much smaller because it will be visually hard for anyone to see it, whether you are sharing the document online or printing it. Over here we have the bold button as well as the italics, the underlines, and where you can change the text color. We will be working with that in just a little bit. You'll notice that a lot of these are repetitions of things that you found in the format drop down, but that's just in order for folks to be able to optimize their workflow. And you'll see that you might go to one more than the other, but it's there in both places. Okay, we have also a highlight color should you choose to highlight your text. Again, we have the insert link. We can insert an image, which we'll go back to. We have our alignment, which I'll show you in just a moment what we can do with that, as well as line spacing, numbered list, bulleted list, indentions, and clear formatting. Should you do some formatting and then you decide later on that you don't want it. All right, as you can see, we have our document primed and ready to go down here. We have it where the insertion point is flickering, which is what we want because that means we are ready to type. Okay, so I'm just going to choose our test sentence, and the test sentence is going to be the quick fox jumps over the lazy dog. There we go. We've got our test sentence right there. And that is just normal, completely unformatted text right there. So I'm going to show you a few things with some just basic text formatting and things that you can get up to with that. So we're going to retype our text sentence there quickly right under there. The dog. And I'll go ahead and just type it a few more times just so we can have it ready to test. Now all I'm doing to go to the next line is I'm hitting the enter key or the return key on my keyboard. You should have that whether or not you're using a Windows computer, a Mac computer, or you're using your smart device. All keyboards should have a return or an enter key. Alright, we've got this typed just about enough times. Alright, as you can see, we have our test sentence typed. Now, you see how there is very little space in between each line. we can change that if we want to. Remember I talked about line spacing? I'm going to show you that. So anytime you're doing any formatting, you want to make sure that all of your text is highlighted. Any text that is that you want to apply the formatting to. So I'm going to make sure that all my text is highlighted, and I do that by left clicking on my mouse and I'm highlighting and dragging it over the text. Okay, so now I'm going to go up to the line spacing option. You see that there are several options here. Single spaced, 1 and 1/5, that is what we have set right now, 1.5, and double space. Now generally if you're doing anything for a paper for school or anything similar to that, or really it's just a good policy to use double space because it gives the eye of the reader more ability to parse what you've put on there. It's not so clumped together, it's much more readable. And you also have add space before paragraph and add space after paragraph, where you can add additional space before and after paragraphs. But I am going to go right here and I am going to select double space, and now you see very much of a difference here where we have added space in between the lines. I think it's much more readable. Okay, and all we had to do was go to the line spacing option. Now I'm going to show you a few different things as far as the stylizing of the text. Now one of the easiest things you can do to make your text stand out or be different is you can use the bold option. And all you have to do is go here, make sure that the text that you want to bold is highlighted. Click the bold option, and there you go, it is bolded. Another thing that you might want to do is you might want to change the font size, and that is again easy. All you have to go up to is the font size option up here, and if you want to make it bigger you just need to click on the plus sign. There we go, it's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And that is 20. You can see 20 versus 12. So there is a marked difference there. In order to italicize, which you might want to do in case you would like to differentiate your text or you want to indicate that you have a book title or a movie title or something like that, all you have to do is again highlight your text, go up here to the italic option, and it will turn your text italicized. You can also do the same with underlining. Again, highlight and underline. And if you would like to change your font color, which is a very good idea if you're making something decorative like a flyer and something you want to choose to make very attention grabbing, all you have to do, I'm going to highlight again, and I'm going to go up to this text color icon. You can see it has black under the A here, indicating that it's a black text. And they have options for you to choose from the preset colors, or you can make a custom color. I'm going to choose to use red. There you go. We have a very red, bold text there. And now I'm going to show you how to change the font. The font is very, very easy to change. So, let us see. I am going to go here to the font options, and it shows you they have a lot of fonts that are preloaded. You can go to see more fonts, and you also have the option to go into see your own fonts that you already have on your computer. But I'm just going to choose one of the fonts that are already here. So I'm going to go with Times New Roman because it will show you the difference between the two. Alright, as you can see, this is Arial, this is Times New Roman. Times New Roman is what is called a serif font, and Arial is what is called a sans serif font. Serifs are basically just the small flourishes that are on the end of the letter. See how the L has kind of a little mark here at the top, while this L is very straight up. They both kind of confer different meanings and different kind of atmospheres to your document, or different kind of moods to what you might want to make. So it just really depends on what document you're making and what the purpose of it is. But there's a lot that you can learn about fonts. I'm not really going to get into it in this lesson, but if you're interested in that, there's a lot that you can learn on the internet. Okay, now let me teach you one more thing about formatting text very quickly before we go on to teaching you about adding pictures to your documents should you choose to do so. Now, the one thing that you might find yourself wanting to do is you might find yourself wanting to make a list or a itemized list of things that you've typed in your document. So there are two ways to do that. You can either choose to do a bulleted list, or you can choose to do a numbered list, and it just depends on what your purpose is. Type in a few things here. Okay, so we've got our items, and I'm going to show you how to make them into a list. Now remember, whenever we want to change something, all we have to do is we just highlight it. So I've got my items highlighted. Then I'm going to go over here to the numbered list option. Click that, and it will automatically itemize and number them for me. And the cool thing about this is that should I say, oh, I forgot to put an item in the list, all I have to do is just click enter. It will automatically adjust everything for me, and I can put in the new item. But now let me say I want to change that. I say, no, I don't want to do a numbered list. I'd like to do a bullet list. Okay, all you have to do is, again, highlight it. Just click that. It will remove the formatting. All you have to do is when you highlight something and you want to remove the formatting, you just click whatever that you had formatted it on. So if you click bold to format it bold, all you have to do is highlight it and unclick the bold option to remove the bold formatting. Now, we've removed that formatting, so all you have to do is you go here to the bulleted list. It will automatically put the bulleted list there for you. And you can also change the bullets if you'd like. You can change them to different symbols. You can change the level of your list if you want to add sublists. To do that, all you have to do is put your cursor before the item that you want to change, and then you hit your tab button, and it will automatically indent your item and add a new symbol to that. As you can see, we now have this sublist ready to go, and we can continue going down the ladder and creating different list items. Okay, that is the basics of fonts, and now I'm going to show you how to insert an image into your document. Alright, so I have brought my cursor down here. Remember, you always want your insertion point or your cursor to be where you would like to insert your item or your text or anything else that you're using. Okay, so if you go up here to the ribbon, which is the toolbar up here, you can find past the text options, there is this tiny picture of what appears to be a mountain or something like that, and it says Insert Image. If you click on it, there are several different options. You can upload from computer, you can search the web for a picture, you can use pictures that you already have in your Google Drive, your Google Photos. You can insert a picture by its URL, or you can use your webcam or connected camera. Today I'm going to choose to upload a picture I already have on my computer. Okay, let's see. Here we have my folder, and I am going to put in our picture. And as you can see, here is our picture. It is a very cute sort of photo of two little animals, two little puppies here. So look at them smiling. That makes me really happy. Okay, so we can put this picture here. And when we click on the picture, you see that we have many different options on how to use the picture and how to adjust it to fit into our document. We are going to see if we can make it a little smaller. You just take this little far corner here and drag it in with your mouse, and it will crop the picture. Now you see there are several other options here down on the little mini toolbar that we have. You can either put the image in line with the text, you can wrap the text around the image, or you can break the text by putting the image in the middle of it. I am going to choose to wrap text, and it will give you several options on how much of a margin you want around your picture, and it will show you the positions that you can use for your picture. It really just depends on your document. You kind of have to play around with it. Move with text is generally the default, or you can fix the position on the page if you want your picture to stay where it is no matter what. And there's some position options if you'd like to get very, very into the nitty-gritty with your positioning. Okay, so I am going to select move with text, and I am going to move it up to the top here. Let's move it over to the side actually. So as you can see, now it lives over here, and the text will automatically wrap around it. That's why it's called text wrap. Now there are also some other options here. If you go over to the size and rotation, again you can do some more resizing, and you can also fidget with the orientation and the rotation of the image. And there are also some basic adjustments that you can do to the image. And then if you want to see all image options, it will bring up the sidebar, and you can go in. You can change different tweaks on the picture. We're not really going to get into that today, but if you want to, you can change that. Here's the size and rotation. There's text wrapping. You can see those basic things there. If you have any questions about that, you can just let me know, and I will be glad to help you with that. But that's kind of beyond the scope of what we're doing today. All right, so now we have our basic text document, and we're ready to move on to making our proper document example. You are welcome to follow along with me and make the document. I will put the document in the text box of the description of this video so that you guys can play with the document. It will have all the formatting and everything already done, so if you want to look at how it was made, or if you would like to just try to rebuild it on your own, you might find that very helpful. So I am going to cut this video, and you will see me again in a second or so, and I will have the text already in, so you will not have to watch me type everything out, and then we will go from there. Right. Alright, welcome back everybody. I am going to be showing you a few things on how to make the recipe example that I showed you earlier, and I am going to show you how to format it. And I've realized now that I forgot one little thing, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second, and then we will get started. Alright, I've already copied and pasted the basic recipe here. It is completely unformatted. We will do that in just a moment, and I will show you how to do that. However, I just didn't think that you guys wanted to see me type all of this. Okay, so let's see. We have our title here. It's a classy caprese salad. We have our ingredients list. We have our how to make instructions down here, and I'd like to add an image as well. But as you see, this is all very smushed together. It is not very readable. You can't really delineate the different sections. So in order to change that, I am going to do some formatting, and you can follow along with me. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the line spacing a little more generous for my eyes here. Alright, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get the drop down and I'm going to set it to double space. And now there we have our double spaced list. Now the first thing I would like to do is I would like to change this title here. I would like it to be much more extravagant and bold so that I can see what the recipe is when I'm thumbing through it, and I don't have to worry about worrying and seeing if it's the right thing. Alright, now one thing that I did not show you earlier, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm going to show you now, is how to center your text or align your text in a different manner. As you can see, by default, you're always a left aligned text here. That's just what comes default in most word processors. And I'm going to change that by highlighting the title here. So I'm highlighting Classy Caprese Salad, and then I'm going to go here to alignment. You see it is right next to the line spacing, and I'm going to make sure that I select the center align. I could choose right align if I wanted to, or justify, which is good for a large amount of text. However, I'm going to stick with the center align option. That puts it right in the center there. And I also would like to change the color. So I would like a breezy, bold Italian red color, since it is an Italian recipe. I would also like to add a script font. I am just going to choose this font, and then I'm going to enlarge here. I think I'm going to go with a 24. Let's be fun. Let's go with a 28. Now we have our title there, and we can now see that it's a classy caprese salad. Alright, I am going to go here to the ingredients. I would like my ingredients list to have a bold header, so I'm going to select bold, and I'm also going to underline. In fact, I also might make the... Oops, I made a mistake. I accidentally dragged the I to the end of the word, which is very strange. All I have to do to fix that mistake is I can go up to here to edit, undo, and that will automatically fix my mistake. Now let's see if I can do that again without messing up. Okay, I'm going to enlarge the font to about 15, and I'm going to do the same to the how to make. That's fine. I could stop right there, but I think I'm going to go a little bit further, and I am going to put the ingredients list in a bulleted list. So all I have to do is again highlight that, go here. There we go. And now we have a bulleted list of our ingredients. And I'm going to do the same down here to the how to make step-by-step process. But instead of using the bullets, since this is a in order step-by-step process, I'm going to use the numbered list. There we go. That looks beautiful. And as you can see, we've really got a nice little list here and a nice ingredient list and a very handsome looking recipe, if I do say so myself. But I want to take it to the next level. I would really like to add a picture, and I think that that will tie it together. Then I could put it in a binder, or I could give it to someone as a gift, maybe put it on top of a plate of this delicious food, and it would be a nice gift for them. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to the picture tab up here in the ribbon, the insert image, and I'm going to upload from the computer. And as you can see, I'm just going to select my caprese salad picture. But it is very large, so I'm going to have to do a little fiddling here. Let's see. There we go. All I'm doing is I'm just using the size and rotation option to make the size smaller. Like I said, a lot of this can be done just by playing around in the options, and you don't have to worry. If you mess up, you can always go to undo, and it will take away any mistakes. So you learn by playing with it. Okay, that's about how I want it. And I'm going to make sure that the alignment is set to wrapped text. And then I'm going to pull the image up to the top so that it wraps around. There we go. There we go. Actually, let me kind of move it down. That is perfect. All right, and there we go. There is our recipe, and it is ready to save or print. And to do that, we would like to go up to here where we can download. Under the File tab, we can download a PDF version. We can download a Microsoft Word document version that you can use if you open it in Microsoft Word, or if you open it again in Google Docs. You can save it as a EPUB if you want to put it in a ebook, or you can even save it as a web page. Or you can email this file to someone. And there's also print options down here if you want to skip that entirely and just directly print it. Now, if I want to access this document again, I'm going to give it a title here, and it automatically decided it wanted to call itself Classy Caprese Salad, which I think is just fine, but you could call it anything you wanted to. You could call it My Recipe. You could call it Gift for So-and-so. You can call it anything. Now, that is your very first document that you've created in Google Docs. I hope that you found this tutorial interesting and informative. If you have any questions, please contact us at the library, ask for me or ask for anyone at the desk, and we would be more than happy to help you. I'm Elizabeth, and I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this time with me. and I will see you guys later. Be sure to check out the document linked in the description box and also complete the survey at the end of this video. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.